Hello, Mr. Uh,
Good evening. Good evening. How's it going? How's it going, buddy?
oh, it's going great. I just wanted to welcome you to the podcast for the first time. This will be the second discussion that I have uh, with another good friend of mine, which is Koopatan Aka JT, and welcome to Nocturnal Lights.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, buddy. So far, so good. I actually listened to your previous podcast about Bigfoot. I stayed for the whole thing, man. It was interesting.
Cool. Yeah, doing the podcast discussion was another person involved. It's new to me, but I'm liking it more. I like.
I was very surprised that you're doing this now. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to do. I've even thought about making one, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you, man.
It's fun, we get to talk about crazy shit, going on in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this with you, and maybe this might be the first of many. Who knows? All
right. So, we're going to talk about a few things tonight.
Sounds good.
And it's kind of a Halloween / UFO episode.
Okay.
Type of a deal. Since Halloween is coming up.
The truth is out there, my friend.
And yes, it is. So recently there was a sighting that just came out where this guy was recording some object in the night sky, and I kind of wanted to know what your thoughts were on that, because I was watching it. I kept watching it like a few times all day, and I mean, I don't think I've ever seen footage like that before. Like, I've seen photographs of things that look like they're bursting through the sky.
Yes,
they don't look like you. Look like a mist, like a cloud or something.
Yes.
But I don't know. This kind of looked like if it was traveling like warp speed or something.
Oh yeah, the way that thing took off, man, it had to be going pretty damn fast, man. It took off like a missile. It was just so crazy because that video that you sent me, I mean, it was stationary, man. And then I've seen videos of like what they show. Maybe it's like a 20-minute span of like a spiral in the sky or something of that nature. But I've never seen one where it's stationary and then just mid lift off, just boom, just booked it. It looked like Captain Marvel. I'm not gonna lie, man. Something like that of that nature.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty amazed. Like, what in the world is going on? And what I've noticed, and that's just one that I've recently, seen on YouTube.
Yes.
It's like there's, I don't know if you're, if you watch, if you listen to that YouTube channel, Third Phase of Moon, but
oh yes, I was gonna say that. I mean, I've been hearing about that website for many of years.
Yeah, they seem like to be, pushing out a lot of new footage coming out like this month.
Okay.
And it's getting more and more, like there's more and more activity or UFO activity.
Yes, sir.
Around. So I was thinking, like, what if that's like a secret? What if that's not even an alien? Maybe it's us.
Yes. I mean, 100%, man. It could be something just some sort of new missile they're testing, or I don't know. Could have been something that alien, something from the heavens. Depending on what you believe in and what other people believe in, it could have been many of things, I guess.
Right. I mean,
but what I will say is the video looked pretty authentic. Nothing looked like it was too. I mean, it was just like all videos are very far away. But I mean, it didn't seem like anything was time lapsed or anything like that.
Right. I know. I was watching it. It didn't look fake at all. It
Yeah.
looked pretty legit.
Yeah.
And it was. It reminded me of this other video I had seen a while back, but it didn't show the same thing like this video that we're talking about. It was just like a ring.
Okay.
And it was just like an oval shaped ring with a cloudy mist behind it, and it was just traveling in the sky.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like how that did, how it just traveled up and it just disappeared.
Yes.
And it kind of gave off like a tail at the end.
Yes. And
I've seen other videos but I've never seen other videos where it shows like something taking off.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
The title says time leap. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of leaning more towards this is like I kind of want it to be us, our military, trying to show off. Hey, we do got this technology, and we're kind of trying to.
You thinking like an Iron Man suit, perhaps, of some sort?
It could be. I mean, you never know, right?
It went supersonic. That shit went supersonic within milliseconds. That shit was gone.
Yeah, it was. It was gone. It was. Who knows where it went? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have gone to some other constellation. I mean,
and just the little trail behind it, like pretty much seemed like the supersonic kind of trail, like something that just boom gone. It left the debris, it left the residue, all that shit. It was traveling pretty fast, man.
I did hear that Mr. T had given an interview, or was in an interview with his son, and his son asked him if what's the deal with UFOs, and if
I might have heard the same interview you're talking about. Yes, it was a few weeks back, no?
Yeah, it was a few weeks back. I mean, he did say that they were gonna go into start investigating UFOs.
Yeah. I mean, the Space Force, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
behind every
Space Force,
behind everything, there's some sort of truth,
Right. There's I'm kind of leaning towards that it's that it's us, like our government, and they're not scared anymore to let themselves be in the night sky.
Yeah.
I think they're revealing themselves more and more, and then because he created this, the president created this new branch of government called the Space Force.
Yes, sir.
And I apologize for the background. But
I miss home.
There's if they're creating a branch, they would have to already have things in place. You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
It's like saying, "Oh, I'm moving out to my new home," and I mean, you would already would have to have bought in a home to move out to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that movie with Brad Pitt. It's like Atlas or something like that. Atlas or.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
That's a very good movie, man. I really enjoyed that. It's usually space movies, they only do the first couple inner planets. This one went pretty deep, man, and it's rare to see like a planet that deep portrayed in a movie. Besides Jupiter, Jupiter's pretty easy, or Saturn with the rings and shit, but
yeah,
they went all the way, I think, like, to Neptune or something, and I had never seen Neptune before.
Oh, wow.
Or even, like, I guess, like, a color depiction of it. And it's a pretty good color. It was a pretty cool color.
Oh, wow. Was it, so that movie's about interstellar travel or something?
It started off as interstellar, and then it went to, like, the research started the inner planets, and then they moved to see how far they can go.
Oh, okay.
So there's a moon station, there's a Mars station. It's just like the halfway point. Like it's pretty. I don't even remember how far into the future that is. It didn't seem like it was too far. But yeah, they have like different stations on different planets already, where you can just gas up and go to the next one. Boom. So it's a different outlook on, I guess, intergalactic travel. I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like speaking on that, like adding to that, there is, you know, I don't know if you ever heard of Project Paperclip.
I have not.
It's basically where they the CIA back in the very infancy of the CIA, when they were being created, and things of that, they created this project where it's already been proven, like there's documentation that they basically infiltrated Hollywood.
Oh, got you.
And they were feeding off information to the Hollywood executives, and those people started making films. And basically, the whole thing behind that was that whenever there's a film being made about this kind of subject, like the movie Interstellar, it's usually from real information.
Yeah.
Real information, and from the top of the government echelon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, top of the pyramid, you could say.
Right. So I mean, honestly, like shit. What if it's just them trying to feed us information? Like like, hey, this is what we're capable of doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It might be that they already have information, and let's try to break it to the public in a way that they understand, a way that they won't overreact, or they won't freak out, and everybody said, oh, it's just a movie, but who knows,
Right.
They
exactly.
know, they know. That's the.
Oh. Yeah, dude, they know. They know.
Oh yeah, they know. They've been living it for how many fucking centuries and shit.
Yeah. I mean, even like the movie
decades,
Jupiter,
centuries.
Jupiter Ascending.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that one?
I have not, boss. I have not.
Jupiter Ascending is supposedly another movie, just like the one you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And they disclose a lot of information there, but they do it in a film.
Yes.
So they like reptilians, show all types of creatures, other planets. It's a pretty good film. I would suggest you watch that.
Gotcha. Jupiter Ascending. I'll jot it down right now, and I'll add it to the movie list.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, you should. That's another one you should check out. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and go into a quick commercial, real quick.
Gotta pay the bills, Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah. And we'll be right back. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other podcasts out there. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if I were you, I'd go out there and download Anchor on your Android or your iPhone and give it a try. Hey everybody, we're back again with El Koopatan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just going over this this editing thing here, but don't worry about that. So we spoke about the latest UFO sighting. I can't remember the name of the city where it happened.
It was somewhere out there in Norway or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. What I wanted to talk about, so I know you had told me that you had some stuff you wanted to talk about as well, some folklore things going on, stories that maybe there's some type of alien connection there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wanted to, because some people they talk about ghosts and the supernatural, and what if maybe aliens are mixed in with it? Maybe they're behind the scenes pulling the strings. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that when it's hard for people to understand that type of mentality,
the kind of connections that we're trying to make.
Yes, because there's a lot of most of the population in this world is Christian believers. So it's hard for them to be like, oh well, no, I can't believe in that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's possible. It's possible because there's a lot of the UFO researchers out there that some of them who claim that they've seen reptilians. They say that reptilians are described just like how they describe demons.
Yes.
And I mean, who knows? The snake did have his reptilian. You know what I mean? And it gave.
Yep.
The snake gave what was it? The
apple.
The apple to Eve.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, reptilians. New York City, they say they see those people in the sewers. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. There's a lot of stories that they like to dwell underground.
Yes.
And so what do you have today? What do you?
I mean, with Halloween coming up, man. I mean, I figured we could talk about maybe some stories. You're from Mercedes, which is well known to be on the spooky side as far as shit happening there. I've heard quite a bit from Mercedes. I'm from La Feria, right down the road. Santa Rosa, a few miles away. My parents grew up. My dad, anyways, he would always tell me stories about working out there in the cottage inn, and just stories of shit happening. He said the only time he's ever seen anything was he was sleeping in a car at a friend's house or some shit, and he looked out the window and he says he saw the lady in white, or pretty much walk through the house, and come out the other side. And I don't know, maybe he was smoking back then. He says no, I don't know, but could have been it was like it was the 70s, the 60s, I don't know. It was in high school.
But those sightings were very popular back then.
Yes, yeah.
In the 80s, 70s, early 90s. I mean, even now, I think there still are, and they're like, what is that about the the lady looking for her children.
Exactly. I think it connects into with the Llorona kind of thing. I guess she has a few different names, but yeah, just looking for, I guess, her kids, going house to house. So,
well, that's us, the Hispanic culture has embedded into that sighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
because without that culture, I guess maybe it would have still been the same vision to him, I guess, or maybe maybe it was a man in white, and maybe he would have said he would have saw a man, or I don't know, just depending on how the culture describes it. But
that's pretty. I always like to hear about those type of stories. The lady in white. I mean, it could be. There's in the Bible they talk about these prophets who have visions of angels in white.
Yeah.
Illuminating angels, or females with just their bodies all brightened up.
Yeah.
So that could be the same thing. We're just not seeing it in the same way.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah. Taking in the information the same.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Anything crazy out there in Mercedes, boss? How about that? How about any? What do you guys got going on out there?
Well, there's a lot of stories here of the what do you call it, the owl,
okay.
How do you?
Yeah, the bruja, the witch,
yes.
If you whistle at an owl, the whistle back, you're fucked, or some shit like that,
Yes. What I'm trying to remember the name in Spanish for the owl.
The fucking lechuza.
Lechuza. There we go. Lechuza. That's something that I've always
been scared of shit about that. Like, as a kid. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, personally, I have a story because I've encountered the lechuza.
Okay.
Like I believe
it was a lechuza.
I believe it was a lechuza.
Okay.
Not a regular owl.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about a 5 to 6 foot tall lechuza. In the form of an owl, in the shape and body, it looked just like an owl but giant.
I got you.
Like 3-4 times bigger.
Yes.
And it's like I think if I'm not mistaken, the story behind the whole lechuza folklore is that it's supposed to be a local witch that lives in the area that's flying around trying to curse people.
Okay.
Or am I wrong?
I don't know too much about the whole backstory behind it. The thing I do know, or what I have heard, is just you whistle, they whistle back. They kind of come after you or something, or it might be a witch or something,
Yeah,
but to hear the story you're saying, it makes sense. It fits into place,
Yeah, well, my aunt, I have an aunt that I won't put her name on here, but she has a story where her and her grandmother, her grandmother, I'm not quite sure if she was there, but she may have been there. I think she was like a little kid,
Yes.
But her grandmother, that they witnessed a lechuza flying above them in the sky at somewhere in Mexico at somebody's home that she was related.
Got you.
And it was like her grandmother or somebody older than her, and they basically were fighting with the lechuza. And they did this whole thing where they had to, in order to bring it down, they had to say the what do you call it? The Hail Mary.
Okay.
and every time they said a prayer, they tied a knot. They tied a knot after each prayer, and they did it like they did the Hail Mary like 10, 15 times, and then so every time they had like a knot. So at the end of the
it turned into a rosary.
The knot, I'm not sure if it turned into a rosary, but what I remember her saying is that those knots were basically damaging the lechuza in the sky, and then finally it fell to the ground.
Oh, okay.
And when it fell to the ground, supposedly, I mean, I don't know. This is her telling me the story, but she's never been the type of person to ever, feed me lies.
Yeah.
But she said that supposedly that when it fell to the ground, it turned into a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one story that I know.
No, yeah, boss, and I know you've seen that because I've even seen you post about this big ass owl that lives like in Portugal or Brazil. It looks like a guy. It looks like a motherfucking man in a Halloween costume, but it's like a real life.
Yeah.
Like 5 foot fucking owl, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, that being out there too is kind of, that's scary in itself. I wouldn't want to go against that shit.
No, they're scary looking because I remember when I was little, I've been in contact with it because it was nighttime, it was dark. It was around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and my family was inside the house. They were all having a good time. They were hanging out. My uncles, my aunts, and all the cousins were all outside, and we were playing hide and go seek. And I decided to go run off into some dark area where there was nobody at.
Yeah.
And when the person had the game had ended, and then we were all walking back to the front so we can all meet up again. I was walking up to the front of the apartment, through the side of the apartment, and all I hear is like a swooshing sound.
Yeah.
You know how when a bird flies right over you, you hear that sound of the air, because of their wings or whatnot. I just heard a loud swooshing sound, so I knelt down, and when I knelt down, I looked up, and it was this huge. I'm telling you right now, it was, the wingspan was like 6 feet from one end to the other end of the wingspan, and it was right above me. It flew right above me, and it passed me, and it came from behind, and it flew right above me, and it went past me in front of me, and I saw it. I looked up, and I saw it, and there's a few things that I noticed about it. The feathers looked like owl feathers. You know how those owl feathers look like? The bottom, the belly of it was gray, but the outside of the body and the top part of the whole body was all black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it flew to the front of the apartment, and it landed in the tree in front of our apartment. And it was like you were saying earlier about the whistling, because I have multiple people were there. It was not just me who witnessed it, but I was the first person to witness it. I had my cousins and my brothers. They were all there, and it landed on the tree, and I remember looking at it, and I was just freaking out. I was scared. I was small. I was probably 12 years old. And it landed on the tree, and it was so heavy and so big that when it landed on the tree branch started swaying up and down.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? I was like, what in the world is going on here? I mean, am I hallucinating? I was like, I don't know. So I ran inside. To tell everybody, hey, you know what? There's something out here. I just saw it, flew right above me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. I'm freaking out. Well, nobody believes me.
Shut up, Mark. They said
nobody. Yeah, dude, nobody believed me. I was like, whoa. So I ran back outside with my cousins and my brother, and when I went out there, it flew from the branch in front of the apartment. It just flew from there, and it went down the yard to another tree. And my cousins followed it, and everybody followed it, and then they started whistling at it, and then they started whistling back. And then I remember you talking about that, the whistling part. So I was like, man, it was creepy, man. I was genuinely scared. I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know what the hell I just saw. I know that was not a regular looking owl because it was way too big.
And for sure you could feel that it didn't seem normal, you know.
No, it didn't seem normal at all. And and then when I got older and I started getting into stuff like that because I would see things out, weird stuff going on, and then I saw this movie, The Fourth Kind. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. The Fourth Kind. The people in the movie were getting abducted by aliens. But right before they would get abducted, they would witness and have it recorded, and it was witnessed that they would see an owl right before.
That's exactly what I was going to bring, I guess, this conversation into, going back to the aliens and shit, like, and talking about owls. That is exactly the movie I was going to bring up. They do see that shit, and it's trippy.
It's weird.
Because it kind of gives you, like, that presence of just, like, freezing, like, you can't move your body, like,
Right, exactly, man. I was just freaking out, and I don't really tell. Honestly, you're probably like, other than the people that were there that night, which was my cousins, you're probably like the third person I've ever told that. So, yeah, this is the third time I've ever told anybody outside of my family that story. And I have a lot of family that were there that week. We're talking about like more than 5 people saw that lechuza. So it was pretty wild. And but I mean, I don't know, like what if it's some type of alien connection going on there? You know what I mean? Who knows? I know here in Mercedes, there's a lot of sightings of lechuzas. I don't know about anywhere else in the valley or in the area, but here in Mercedes,
I'm sure all across the 956 there has to be. Even just up here, like in Texas in general, like North Texas, South Texas for sure. The river has a lot to do with the Llorona because it ties in with her story down south. But yeah, it's some scary stuff, man. I've never been to any place haunted or I've seen anything with my own eyes. I kind of thank God for that. But I believe in that. They don't have
any personal stories
with owls. No, with seeing ghosts or anything of that nature. No, as well. Having like weird feelings in like weird places, like I shouldn't be here. I don't know if that's just your basic instinct or if it's like a presence telling you get the fuck out of here, But yeah. But sometimes you go into a room. I'm sure when you went into that same fucking room that you were talking about, where your little hair stood up in the back of your neck, and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in here alone or something,
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. But I've, ever since I was little, though, that this is why I do this. This is why I have this podcast, because I've seen weird things in the sky, in regards to like UFO. sightings. But I was so small, so young that I didn't have my own camera, or we didn't even have smartphones at the time. You're talking about early, early 90s, you know what I mean? 90, 95, 94. But, another one, I don't know if you have anything to add to this, but what do you think about the
Chupa motherfucking cabra? What I would say about that motherfucker is that it was like 96, 97. I remember he had every motherfucker scared. If he had chickens, if he had goats, if he had shit like that, lock those motherfuckers up because he's coming for him. He's coming for him, you know? Of course, they kind of tied it into Halloween, but it's like a vampire, coyote, chicken leg dog or some shit like that that's out there just taking down livestock. Mm-hmm. I've never seen it. Supposedly there was like a video of like some kids poking this dead animal or some shit like in a. I don't know if that's something different or something else. But I remember that video came out a few years back. Yeah. They said it was a chupacabra, so I don't know. But that's all I know about it is down here that if he had livestock and he was out there,
It was killing
cows and horses and shit, all kinds of shit. And but the crazy thing about it is that it would leave like little vampire fucking bite marks, like that's all it would do was like just suck the blood. Like no man, not the but
like Dracula traveled to South Texas.
And after a while, then they started like killing the chickens differently and shit. Like they started gutting them and shit. So people started thinking it was like satanic shit. And then I don't know. But as far as the chupacabra,
I think the chupacabra was something that was really happening. I just don't think it was the way us Hispanic people saw it to be. Maybe it's something else, another, maybe there was, like you were saying, like a secret satanic group out back in the early 90s and 80s killing
who knows?
Animals and stuff.
Yeah, maybe it was a way for them to fucking fuck over the farmers or something, zoning permits or something. I don't know, scare tactics.
Yeah. No, but there is one story that I always find interesting that I always tie it into the chupacabra. There's a lady called Linda Moulton Howell, and she is a UFO investigator, and she back in the 80s, she was the one that broke out the story to the world about cattle mutilation, and she claimed that people were like all over back then in the early 90s and 80s that dead cows and dead farm animals were being found, mutilated, missing body parts, and there was no blood at all. You couldn't find nothing anywhere. You know what I mean? It was like a clean incisions and clean cuts, and it was a huge story, and it broke out, and it was around that time when the chupacabra story was
that's what
popular too. So
like
I don't know,
chickens to like goats to like cows, and the animal just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then it was like watch out for yourself and shit. Like, I don't know, but I've never seen one. I've never hit one. I've never,
I've never seen a chupacabra. I've only heard stories. It's always my neighbor, or hey, our uncle has a friend who saw it, but it was never like I mean, come on, My neighbors have chickens. You know what I mean? I've never seen or heard anything like that.
Halloween's right around the corner, man. What are you going to be dressing up as?
Oh man.
I wanted to. I mean, we're both in our 30s, so it's not really like a question, but I would just. I thought it might be an easy segue into.
Yeah. yeah. No, it's I always used to go to Halloween parties. You know what I mean? So, but the last time I got dressed up, I was a zombie.
Are you a fan of The Walking Dead? Was that the reason why, or just a fan of zombie movies in general, or just the concept of zombies?
Just the concept of the zombies. My first zombie movie was the George Romero.
Got you. Actually, just watched this the other day.
Dead, so. So I always liked zombies. You know what I mean? So I used to play this game on Steam. It was kind of like a hack, where you would have to buy this other game, and you get this other game, and you get like this patch downloaded, and then it kind of like modifies the game Half-Life into a zombie multiplayer game, very similar to Call of Duty. So it's like Call of Duty has its own modified zombie game on the side. You know what I mean? So this was the very first version of that.
Like the concept of zombies in all the Call of Duty games.
It was called Half-Life, and then you had to download this other patch, and you can play multiplayer, zombie survival type of situation. So I used to play that. That was back in the day. I'm talking about early 2000s. Before Call of Duty ever came out. And
a zombie.
Zombie.
Nice. Who did your makeup? Did you do it yourself? Or who did your incisions or your sores? Or
I had a friend who did it for me, because she used to be. I went to high school with her, and she used to be part of the drama.
Yeah.
The drama part. So she knew how to put makeup on people, and she got like basically like a tissue paper.
Okay.
Like regular tissue paper that you buy at the store. And she cut it up into pieces, and then she put the makeup on me, and then she put the tissue paper on my skin, but had it hanging off of my skin. So she colored the tissue paper into the color of the makeup that was on my face, so it looked like the same color, and it made it look like my skin was just hanging
That's
off.
a good tip. I just wrote that down. Shout out to, what was her name again?
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Her name was Stephanie.
Tissue paper, dead skin. Got you.
Stephanie for the tip.
Yeah.
It works, man. It was inexpensive, and it made me look like a zombie.
I have 3 options this Halloween. I think I'm gonna go as a mariachi, but like with the skeleton face, like with the face color, I guess. The Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or
okay.
I've always wanted to get the mask. I have never gotten it, just because he's one of my favorite serial killer slasher movie. Michael Myers, man. I wanted to get the Halloween mask, but I don't know.
Speaking about, maybe you can go as Macho Man Randy Savage,
the
skeleton version,
the Mexican fighter. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I actually wanted to get dressed up this year.
All right, there you go.
Because I got invited to a party. Go as a skeleton dude. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still gonna happen. But speaking about movies, my one of my favorite slasher type movie. Honestly, you brought it up. It was just weird. You said it right there and then. It was Michael Myers, dude. That is my all-time favorite slasher.
Yeah, man. It's in the
Halloween.
title. It's for the date. It's yeah, man. It's just a regular guy out there just stabbing people.
I like it because they're never able to kill him. Like, he's not even. He's the slowest walker ever. Like, he just walks everywhere, but yet nobody can catch him. You know what I mean? The cops can't arrest him. He's the ultimate.
I think it's in one movie. I think.
Yeah, he's the ultimate serial killer that can never be caught.
I don't know if you know the original Halloween mask was just what the fuck was his name? Captain Kirk, the Captain Kirk mask from like the 80s and shit. And they just spray painted it white and
is that what it was?
Cut out the eyes, made the eye holes bigger or something like that. Yeah.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Fucking William Shatner himself.
The mask. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
William Shatner is Michael Myers.
Crazy.
He's out out in space.
Have you ever seen speaking of space, have you ever seen Jason X, where he's like in space chopping up teenagers and shit? It's like no,
I've never.
Came out like
is that a new movie?
2002.
Oh, okay.
But it's like the 10th movie in the Jason franchise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's in space. Yeah.
Oh. How are they? How did they?
They cryo froze him. They figured they couldn't kill him either, so they cryo froze his ass. And then there's like the Earth ended, I guess, and it's like 75 years into the future, and then like a spaceship comes down, and she finds Jason's pod and takes him with her. They thaw his ass out, trying to get information, and that was the end of him. You know how that goes.
So they decide after the world ends, they're leaving Earth, and they decide to take Michael Myers with them. That's what.
Yeah, man, and that's pretty much it, man. After that, like a lot of murder and regret, a couple sex scenes, not too much, but yeah. Man.
What's your what's one of your favorite slasher
Freddy
movies?
Krueger, man, always been like one of my favorite, like comedy wise. Chucky was another comedy good one. Leprechaun when he started rapping and shit, like, this motherfucker just Twitter me though. He's just fucking putting spells on your ass and shit. Like that was like good comedy, wholesome. I don't know, kind of scary movies. I would watch those things with my pops every Halloween. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
That's one of my favorite.
What's the name first movie? Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, I think that's her first movie.
Oh, was she in that film?
I think. Oh wow! I believe it's Jennifer Aniston. I believe it is.
I think about the Leprechaun movie, and I think about
the one called
Leprechaun in the Hood
and shit.
I'm like, dude, how the hell did he come from Ireland? Or isn't leprechauns? They're from like
fucking Freddy Krueger was another pretty funny.
He
would like fuck you up.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger was awesome. Yeah, I like the one where
throws a tongue at him,
talking to him through the phone. Yeah. Oh man, those movies are classic. I can't believe we don't have a director now that can make better movies like that. I'm trying to get into Netflix horror films, but they're not really catching my attention.
Yeah. What other? You have like a Fire Stick or anything like that? You have a piece of cable
I don't.
or
no. Yeah, I have I have internet, so I just
got you.
watch. I just download movies.
Supposedly there was supposed to be a new Halloween movie that came out last Friday, but I don't know if it came out or not.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've been wanting to see it.
Okay.
I'd have to check. I'll let you know. Yeah. So, but I don't know if it's. I know it's out in the theater because in McAllen.
Yeah, because I don't have
already set up.
I don't have. I'm just been streaming everything as well, so I haven't seen any commercials like on TV in like over a year. So.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm same way. I don't have no cable. I just stream everything. It's more or less expensive to have cable because I don't really watch a lot of channels. I watch TV as much. I try not to get too much on watching television. But
yeah, man.
I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
It was a pleasure doing this. You know.
I think. Yeah, awesome. And I want to thank you for coming on this podcast and doing this with me. And I know, there's like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes people have those feelings and whatever. But I appreciate you coming on, man. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes people have those feelings and whatever. But I appreciate you coming on, man, and give me your insights.
No problem, man.
On
anytime you need me, I'm done. Yeah. Just a phone call away, brother.
All right. Well, thank you, JT,
yes,
aka El Koopatan. Thank you very much for
Nocturnal Lights
podcast.
Nocturnal Lights. Shout out to Mark.
Nocturnal Lights.
Keep doing your thing, and we'll talk again soon, boss. You too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good night, sir.